Okay, hi everyone. This is Dreamer. If you watched my first video, you know I'm brand new to this, so be gentle with us. I'm here with my new friend Max, who I met recently, but we're camped together now. We hang out. We discovered that we have a lot in common. He's a great guy, fun to talk to, and so I wanted to interview him, and he graciously said yes. So this is Max. Hi, Max.
Hi. Hello everybody. And I am just out here camping, and Cheryl showed up, so she's got a new YouTube channel, Dreamer, right?
Yeah, OG Dreamer.
OU Dreamer.
OG. Stands for Original Gangster.
Okay, OG Dreamer. Okay, good luck. I hope you get 100,000 subscribers.
Oh, I don't. That's too much work. So we're going to ask Max about how he ended up out here and what he likes about it, and maybe some challenges, and find out about him. So how did you end up on the road?
Well, I've been very fortunate. I was thinking about this not too long ago. I grew up on a square 40 in central Michigan, and my dad worked at a factory, and he got me a job there after high school. And then I went in the military, and then I got out and went to another factory, and I spent 30 years and 1 month there, and then I retired. Well, I didn't know what else to do except maybe go get another job. So I drove a transit bus for a while, sold real estate, and then a friend of mine in Lansing, Michigan area told me about boondocking. And the reason I say I'm fortunate is I spent 30 years in one place. I am observing so many people that travel. Every 5 years they have a career change, they move their families. And I just feel fortunate that I was working in an era where it was pretty stable. There were some issues, oil embargoes, strikes, but I managed to get 30 years in. And so that's why I'm fortunate. And then it dawned upon me when this friend of mine showed me pictures of his camping near Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And so I was living alone, and I locked up my house, and I came out here in 2018 for 3 months. I was in Quartzsite and Yuma area. I went back home, put my house up for sale because I just enjoyed the freedom of being a nomad and a boondocker, living off grid. I have a solar panel and a couple of Jackery power stations, and I just enjoyed the lifestyle. It was something new, and I wanted to see the country. So I sold the house in July of 2019, and I started traveling. And I went to Mount Rushmore and
You've been a lot of places.
Different places, Devil's Tower, went on over to Idaho, Reno, Nevada, and the lakes over there. What's the big lake near Reno?
Tahoe?
Tahoe. That was one of the most amazing places. Just amazing. And
Is there dispersed camping there? Is there dispersed camping at Tahoe?
Nearby.
Nearby?
But it's a really expensive area.
Yeah.
So I was camping, of all things, in the city parks in Reno. And they were allowing people to camp there because of the COVID. COVID slowed me down a bit. But I continued to travel. Went down to Quartzsite for the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, which is called the RTR. And it's a gathering of nomads living off the grid out of their vehicles. So I did that, went down to Yuma, and then I just continued traveling. I've been several other places. I've been to Joshua Tree, California, National Park there. I went to Tucson. I hung around there.
Did you think it was going to be a long-term thing? Did you think you would enjoy it this much?
I basically gave up my home base when I sold my house, but I still have a home base at my brother's place nearby where I lived. And if I need to stay somewhere, I can stay in his fifth wheel camper, which has a full hookup out by his pole barn, and I can go there anytime. Well, I thought that I was going to go and continue doing this until I'd seen most of the country that I wanted to see. I quickly realized that the COVID issue slowed me and everyone else down. I have not seen Washington State or Oregon.
Me either. Those are on my list.
And I want to see more of California. And then there's the whole East Coast. I mean, in the military, I traveled a fair amount. Kentucky, New Jersey, went to Europe, and I went to many countries over there, including Liechtenstein and Austria, Switzerland 3 times, and trying to think of the other one.
Back when it was nice to visit, right?
And I've been in France. In fact, before I got out of the service, I had bought a sports car, and I took it up to Bremen, Germany. I put it on a ship, come back to the United States, and I hitchhiked with a rucksack, they call it, a backpack, and a Bota bag with water. And I hitchhiked from the North Sea all the way to the Mediterranean. It took me about 3 days.
Mm.
And I spent 15 days on the Costa Brava and enjoyed the culture of Spain. And then I hitchhiked back up to Germany, and within 2 or 3 days I was out of the Army. And then I went back and got those jobs I had and got my 30 years in and retired. But as far as keeping this as a constant, I just turned 76 a couple months ago.
Wow.
And I'm fortunate that my health is held up, and I try to maintain that. But I keep saying that I'll be doing this when I'm 80, at least 4 more years. I could do it another 10 years, health permitting, and I want to see the country. I want to go up in Maine and Vermont, Massachusetts, in that area, and then along the eastern seaboard. And for being from Michigan, I've never been to Florida, even though I have 2 cousins who live there. So I have lots to do yet. And with this lifestyle and being retired, I can find things to do. There's Planet Fitness. I'm a member there. I joined the Aquaplex here in the Flagstaff area, which has a weight room, indoor track, and they have a pool, jacuzzi, and what they call a lazy river, which is a flowing stream. And
I really want to check that out.
yeah, it's wonderful, and it gives you the chance to low impact water exercise. And I go to Lake Havasu City. I pay for the using the pool and jacuzzis and showers at the aquatic center there. Average is about $3.40 per visit for me. And of course, that Planet Fitness gives me all the showers I need because I have the black card, which is nice. And I have so many friends out here. You know, we have a group of probably 8 people here now. It was up to 12. Another friend is coming in today, William.
It's a cool community, like that. People make trips to the food bank and they come back and share everything. Mm-hmm. And we had that July 4th thing with the barbecue chicken.
We have a chief cook and bottle washer. He's a really good cook. He's from Europe, Romania.
Yeah, I wanted to interview him, but he wasn't interested in being on camera. He escaped communism at the age of 27, and it was not an easy adventure. It doesn't really want to talk about it on camera, but fascinating gentleman, and really interesting to talk to, don't you think?
And yes, and that some of the people go to the food bank, come back with a little extra food, and it's dispersed among the people out here. And also I go to the senior centers in Quartzsite, Yuma, here in Flagstaff, and for from $2 to $4, you can get a nice meal at Monday through Friday at a senior center. And I do that occasionally, especially in Yuma. It's really convenient. And there's also plenty of fishing out here, which I've gotten into after many years in that. And it's helpful that the Arizona Department of Natural Resources stocks trout, rainbow trout, in these ponds. And a lot of them are community ponds, but I pay the $55 per year for a non-resident senior fishing license. But about 2 weeks ago, I transferred my residency from South Dakota to Arizona. And I'm in the process of getting all my mail and contacts completed for Arizona. And it was just more convenient because I was going back to South Dakota every other year, but I've seen most of what I wanted to see there. And it's time for me to move everything into Arizona. I spend 7 to 8 months of the year here, either in the mountains around Flagstaff, in the heat of the summer where it's 115 down in Quartzsite and Yuma. It's a nice 85 degrees here. When it turns into 3 foot of snow here and 20 degrees freezing, I move down to Quartzsite and Yuma where it's a nice 75 degrees at night and 50, 75 daytime, 50 at night. So
it was a little colder this year though, because when I met him, this year it was my first time at the RTR, and I went down there not knowing a soul. Luckily, Minivan Lee posted her coordinates, and so Max was he was in charge of that meetup.
Kind of a fellow facilitator.
But it was cold down there. We had some...
on average, 7 degrees cooler than normal. And when it gets to be 29 degrees in Quartzsite, it's time to move. And I was in Yuma, which is further south. So I stayed okay. It was nice. So I enjoy this lifestyle and plan on continuing.
Good. So what's your least favorite thing about it?
Well, the least favorite thing might be, no matter where you're going to have either high winds and dust in the deserts down around Quartzsite especially, and sometimes a little too hot. And up here, you're going to have winds and rain. We're in the monsoon season. And it rains usually about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The air currents rise up from lower elevations. They come up into the mountains and they get cooler and they drop all their moisture. But it's usually the rains will stop at 10 o'clock in the evening when everything kind of cools down and it's spent all of its water in the clouds. And then by morning, things are pretty well dried up, and then it repeats. Not every day, maybe 3 days a week we have a monsoon rain.
We had one yesterday.
Yeah,
it was pretty
I
good.
Heard it was pretty bad. I go into town.
I was afraid to drive out of here today because it was so much.
When I know the rain is coming and I want to go to the Aquaplex the next morning, I'll go in town and stay overnight in a parking lot like Cracker Barrel, or there's a local hotel that lets people stay overnight in there. And I'm in my vehicle. I have a Chrysler Town and Country van, and with a 5-inch memory foam mattress in the back.
And it's set up really nice too. In fact, I should put that link in the description of your van tour, because it's you call it utilitarian. I love that. Everything is within reach.
And it's the video was done by my friend Minivan Lee, and that's how we met. We went to a Minivan Lee YouTube meetup group. We had about 52 people both years, not all at the same time, but we had 25 people at a time around campfires.
We had a huge campfire circle.
It was a great thing, and that's where we met. And so Minivan Lee has a huge following, and that video of my tour that she did of my van has been seen almost 28,000 times.
Wow. You're a popular guy out here. He is.
And
Yes.
another
Give him a
lady
minute, buddy.
YouTuber, Susan Hare, she interviewed me
Mm-hmm.
about a year ago in Yuma, and that was nice. The topic was nomads in the single life,
Mm-hmm.
friendship,
Yeah.
because relationships are kind of difficult out here because we're in separate vehicles and we end up traveling here or traveling there. They have family commitments or travel for fun, sightseeing, or family obligations. And so we cross paths. And one of the favorite things the nomad community does when they leave, say, see you down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
See you down the road.
We'll see you again. Yeah. So there's a few people that were here yesterday. I actually left her in Springerville, but I come back here and she's here. And then she left, and now she's coming back. So it's like you're always running into the same people because it's kind of a small world. But it's getting bigger, right? With the economy. The economy's forcing a lot of people into their vehicles. I'm fortunate. This was a choice for me. I had time to plan for this, and but a lot of people don't. They just get forced out, and so. But everybody's out here to help each other, so.
That's another thing we say about nomads is we can change our mind in a moment's notice. I say, I'm going down to Cottonwood or Sedona on Wednesday. Wednesday comes and you're still here and they say, what happened? I say, I changed my mind.
Right. And I'm retired, so I can do that. Yeah, when I just retired, and one of my favorite things, like I went to antique shops on a Wednesday, and that was so novel for me because normally it's on a Saturday or Sunday. After working, I worked for 51 years. That was a long time to.
Yeah, it is long.
So it's fun out here, just not having any schedule.
Yeah, so this is a great lifestyle, and I watch my friends in their homes. They're retired, they're the same age as me, and they tend to have a set routine. And I don't know, they don't get much activity necessarily, and it's a big production to go on a vacation. And normally they have a bigger camping rig to prepare, a longer distance. They got to take care of their pets, miscellaneous. So this is a carefree lifestyle for me. I just enjoy the heck out of it. And I'm the oldest of 7 children, and a lot of times I post on Facebook so they know what I'm doing. And I have another little knick-knack I do. I take pictures of my food, and I ask permission. And if I'm having a meal with someone, I say, is it okay if I take a photo of my meal? And I want to put it on Facebook so that my sister knows I'm eating well.
That's funny. She checks on you?
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned losing some weight when you first came out here.
Yeah. Oh, gee, in that video, the video says something like, my van saved my life. Because here I am retired. I live 30 miles away from Lansing, Michigan, out in the country. And I had a nice home. And I had a wood-burning fireplace. I had a room just all set up for TV and computer. And I was there, and the refrigerator was 25 feet away. And when winter comes, you get what they call cabin fever in Michigan, because you can't go because there's drifting snow or from a blizzard, or it's an ice storm. And if you do get out, you're risking hitting a deer. It's a huge deer population. I've hit a couple over the years. And so I would be so bored that it was easy to go to food or watch TV, and I just stay home, and it was lonely. Well, after that first winter, I come out here in 2018, and I went back in like March of 2019. Like I said, I sold the house, got out of there, and wonders upon wonders, the first 6 months I lost 25 pounds.
Just from being active? I
was up. And then I gained a little bit back during COVID. I call it the COVID-19. 19 pounds is about what I grew. gained. But when I got back out here again, I lost that and more. And I go to the Aquaplex and I eat moderately. I exercise, and I'm, for probably the first time in 50 years, I'm under 200 pounds. So I've lost a total of 52 pounds.
Good for you, Max.
Over the years. I mean, not just, almost in the last 3 or 4 years that I've been doing this, I've lost 50
It makes a
pounds.
huge difference in the way you feel. I lost almost 70 pounds.
Really?
Not from being a nomad, but from changing my diet and getting off pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, so I'm much healthier. I think I'm healthier now than I was when I was 45.
Yeah, me too.
Because I'm more active, I swim, and I just exercise. I can actually feel muscle growing and strength. I'm lifting more weight.
Because breaking camp, because we're constantly moving stuff, right? And so that's a lifting stuff.
I'm active, period. I'm always active. I'm getting ready to go up to Monument Valley on the 30th of August. There's a full moon. It's a blue moon.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to do the Forrest Gump Highway.
Oh yeah.
And I'm ordering a Bubba Gump Shrimp Company hat. And I ordered this huge beard. I got this beard and brown hair going down over my shoulders.
You're gonna take a picture.
And I'm giving it away. But not everyone's going to see this video.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be dressed up as Forrest Gump on Forrest Gump Highway there in Monument Valley. And I got to get a crowd to follow me. And someone's got to take my picture. and
this is going to be awesome.
I'm going to see if
I
they
may go with you for this.
Want to see if they know who it is. But I do things like that. And I like having fun.
Yeah.
I'm a kind of a jokester in a way.
Yeah. And you're a whittler.
I whittle. I make letter openers. I can do other things, but I make letter openers out of wood and with a jackknife, more or less. And my dad was a wood carver. I learned how to wood carve and whittle. So.
And I like to follow you on Facebook because when you travel, you will kind of tell the history behind a place. It's not just, hey, I was here. He always adds some interesting information about.
I try my very best to, even though it's maybe obvious, I try and put what city I'm in and the state. There's a lot of Springfields.
Right, yeah.
So I say Flagstaff. Well, there's a Flagstaff, New York, for that matter, I believe. And so I try and let people know where I'm at and not leave them hanging about, what's that,
Yeah.
And no description.
Yeah. You have a lot of followers.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but I have, 1,400 Facebook friends.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I might mention. All these people do word puzzle as a memory item to try and keep from getting dementia or something slowing your brain down. They say you need to keep your brain active.
Yeah.
I think I have those 1,400 people. I know every one of their names. If I see it, I say, no, I know they're my friend. And I have to keep track. I don't have to, but I do. And it's like exercise for my brain.
Right, yeah.
And that goes along with pictures. I save a picture of a friend, or especially memes or places I've been. I can say, oh yeah, I was there and I was this time. And I think the Facebook and that activity keeps me sharp, sharper than just doing nothing.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of, I hate Facebook, to be honest, but I love it for certain things, keeping in touch with family and friends and the memories. I love the memories because, I have to delete my pictures every so often because I won't pay for extra storage. It's a principal thing. And so I end up deleting a lot of pictures, and then when it shows up in memories, I'm like, oh man, that was awesome. Yeah. So yeah.
I like it because I have grand nieces and nephews. I never knew their names, but I do now.
Yeah.
And I can follow what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
so other than Monument Valley, any huge bucket list items in the next 12 months?
Might go to Mexico for a couple months.
Yeah.
I have 3 different groups. One fellow's from Minnesota. I camped with him about 3 years ago over on Plumosa Road.
Mm-hmm.
He's a friend of Minnie Van Lee's too. And he is bringing 3 friends down, and they want to go into Mexico. So I told him, I said, well, I could join up with you. We would kind of mutual support. I have a passport. I speak Spanish fairly well. And I would like to go down there and be along the Pacific coast.
I wouldn't mind that
And
either. I need some dental work.
yeah, and I get my teeth cleaned there in Los Algodones, Mexico, right there just 12 miles from Yuma. And it cost me $25 to have my teeth cleaned.
Yeah.
And they're very professional. There's like 250 dental offices in that town.
Yeah, Val was telling me yesterday it's where he gets his medicine.
Yeah.
It's all his medicine.
And you can get a lot of medicines without a prescription, which is nice for people that don't have insurance, especially.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and you can get the medicines that you can't get here,
right.
too. So.
Well, ivermectin is a big one.
Yeah.
During COVID, people were going down and no prescription, a bottle for $7 or $5 for 4 tablets. And another one was amoxicillin. You can get 100 pills for $7 in a bottle.
Yeah.
And that solves a lot of problems. And we even used it on our friend Tom's dog. He got bit by a rattlesnake. And
this is a great story.
Yeah.
Can we tell it?
About Earl?
Earl. Yeah, I'll have to take a picture of him and try to squeeze it in the video somehow.
Yeah, about his name?
About how he found the dog. We're camped right next to him. And this dog, Earl, is awesome. He plays with Muddy. And Lucy loves him.
Yeah, Earl was a desert dog. He was running in a band of like 4 other dogs. And Tom tried to save them, and he couldn't take care of all 4, so he picked Earl and took the others to a animal shelter. And he didn't know what happened to the rest, but he's had Earl, and for a long time, Tom would talk about his dog Earl, and he would spell it E-R-A-L, Earl. And someone mentioned one day he's spelling the name Earl incorrectly, and Tom said, I am? He said, it spells Earl, E-R-A-L, and they said, no, it's E-A-R-L. Okay, so Tom changed it to E-A-R-L, and there was an immediate uproar because everyone said, no, we like Earl, E-R-A-L, better. Keep it that way. So since then, it's always been E-R-A-L.
Yeah.
And the dog is a wonderful little dog.
Yeah, so I guess Tom found him. He had been bitten by a rattlesnake.
Well, he had Earl for a year or more, and I think it was off that Plumosa Road area, Portside.
Yeah.
A rattlesnake bit him right on the top of his right shoulder. And he took him to a doctor, gave him a venom recovery serum, and he had to shave it away, and it started to heal, but then he got infected, and he was having some problems, and one of our friends had a bottle of this amoxicillin that they had gotten in Mexico, and they give Tom about 3 or 4 pills, and Tom would give about a half a capsule in Earl's food, and within 3 days he was right back onto recovery.
Nice.
The infection went away.
Yeah, he's a happy dog too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And so, but yeah, Mexico is a wonderful place. I've always dreamed of going there, so maybe I'll get a chance to this winter.
Yeah. Have you thought about the Baja?
Yeah, that's where I want to go.
Oh, that's where you want.
Yeah, I want to go in the Baja, which is south of California, right along the Pacific Ocean or along the Sea of Cortez.
Yeah.
And I would just soon be over south of Ensenada, which is south of San Diego, and about 200 or 300 miles down the coastline. And you don't need a fishing license to fish in the ocean. And there's sheltered areas where you can kayak. I carry 2 inflatable kayaks in my van. They're in bins underneath my bed, and they're nice kayaks. So I stay busy, stay active. That's the thing. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, yeah.
And eat well. that junk food is really doing me in.
And here's the thing, like, we wake up to the most amazing sunrises every day, and then the sunsets, and the pictures never do it justice. So it's yeah, it's a great life. I'm loving it so far.
In another month, maybe 2 months, the elk go into mating season, the rut, and the huge elk will come wandering through your campsite, and you'll hear them bellowing with their call. And there's huge elk herds out here. I see them quite often.
Yeah, I had some get close to me up on the rim. Yeah, they came within 100 feet and just sat down, and there's 3 of them stared at me. It was awesome.
This is range for cattle grazing also. And there's real cowboys out here. They bring out a couple hundred cattle and let them range out here with their babies, and they wean them. And then,
they'll come right up to your rig too.
Yeah. And then they'll come out on the cowboys will come out and round them all up, get them in trailers, and take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we got cattle around.
So have you come across a bear?
What's that?
A bear? Have you seen a bear?
No, I have not.
Me either.
I hear they're out here. There's even mountain lions in this area. Puma. But
that's why
rare.
Muddy always wants to go up the mountain. I'm like, no, we're gonna stick close to the vehicle. Yeah.
So it's a life-changing event. Go out of a safe spot called a home or apartment, your home base, and decide you're going to live in a vehicle and go with the flow, and you find what they call a tribe.
Yeah.
You join a caravan. It's a bunch of people that kind of go, not following each other, but, I'm going to be in Cottonwood in 2 weeks. And they say, well, I'll probably see you down there because I was hoping to go there too.
Yeah.
And you end up camping again.
Yeah.
It's like a caravan. It's like 8 or 10 people just keep following each other around. And if you go somewhere else, you'll find another caravan you were in 2 years ago.
Right.
And you'll have a tribe. And some people get along, some people don't. Just like life.
Yeah, you got to figure out, there are some strange people.
There's some strange people out here. Some people are...
You need to have discernment.
Had
to
terrible issues. They couldn't hold a job because of their mental capacities or anger issues or depression. But they survive out here and then get along.
For the most part, they're making the best of it.
Yeah, and they get along pretty good out here, but they tend to be loners. And you go over and talk to them for an hour, and they say, well, I'll see you later. And you might not see them for another week. Yeah. But they get along, and they stay out of trouble, and they got an income, usually Social Security, that gives them enough that they can survive on. They go to food banks or senior centers. And that's the funny thing. I come out here and I ate out a lot of my meals. And then I learned to do a little more cooking, and I haven't eaten out in a while. But this life opens up new avenues. There's a friend of ours here that's a vegan. And so when I go out and maybe go to lunch, I start thinking, well, I'm going to just have vegan instead of big hamburger or something. And so I'm eating more vegetables, and I just enjoy changing what I was doing. So you grow or you go, kind of thing.
This being on the move thing, it just energizes me. I feel alive, like if sitting in constant 72 degrees, air conditioning, not moving, watching TV, maybe going to the kitchen and back, that was just killing me. Because when I was working from home and, just being outside and because doing this you have to do certain things. Like you have to take care of water and energy, and I have dogs, so I have to make sure they're okay. So there's things you have to do if you're going to survive. You can't just sit in your car all day, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You have to prepare for the next day or next week.
There's always something going on. And we have little hiking trips together. Lots of things to do out here. We just take off walking and enjoy a walk through the woods, see some rock formations or whatever, or a creek or lakes.
You just went to the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah, I went to, a couple friends took me to the eastern portion of the Grand Canyon, which I had never been to. There's a big lookout tower there. It was built back in the 30s or something. It's really nice. But I've been to the village, they call it. That's more in the central part of the Grand Canyon. And then there's further to the west are other places, like they have that viewing platform where it's a glass circle, half circle that goes out over, and you're looking down, and you can look right down through the floor of this platform. I haven't been there. I heard it costs $75 just to go out there. So
that's not worth it for me.
I can see the bottom of the canyon from the edge.
They make a fortune though.
Yeah, and
up there.
My problem is I'm a goofball, and I'll get my feet up close to the edge, and it drives my sister kind of gets anxious. But I shouldn't do that.
But you're a jokester.
I'm still
so
here.
You have to.
I'm still here, and I am more careful than it might sound.
Yeah.
Because the edge is the edge, but there's another edge just 3 feet below it.
Yeah.
Where if I did slip, I'd fall onto another area below me.
Yeah.
Not down in the canyon. So, but I have so much fun, and I just love the people out here.
And the people love you. Everyone I talk to, oh, Max is great. There's Minivan Lee was talking about how helpful you are. You're just always trying to help everybody. And it's true. Like, I remember, because you're really, other than Terry and Travel Grandma and Paul, you're the only person I remembered from Quartzsite. And that's because you were always like organizing us or helping us or telling us where to go.
It's kind of like a greeter for that group.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
And you took us on a hike.
Yeah. Go see the monster cactus and the stone formations.
Yeah.
And we do different things like that. But yeah, I give people a lot of rides if they have car problems and they have to go pick up their vehicle or go get parts or anything. If they need to go get water, I mean, I'll drive them into town, and because they can't drive in because, well, they got a big camper, they don't want to move it. I say, I'm going to town, just ride in with me. So I don't mind. I get good mileage from my vehicle, and I kept a couple seats in my van. I can take myself and 2 other people.
Oh, good. Yeah,
so
that's good. It
works out good. And I hope to keep doing it.
Well, this has been great, Max. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And yeah, I'll be hanging out with Max for quite a while, probably. I go to Phoenix every week, but other than that, I find you when I come back. I found him 3 times so far.
Give me the name of your group, your YouTube channel again.
It's at OG Dreamer.
At
OG Dreamer. And the reason is, it used to be Dreamer 1745. And Travel Grandma said, no one's ever going to remember that number. I had my own reasons for having that number. But she said, you got to change it to something that people will remember. And I said, okay, I'll change it to, the Dreamer was already taken.
Yeah, okay.
So I picked OG Dreamer for Original Gangster.
Okay, or OG Dreamer.
Yeah.
But what's the at?
Well, the ad is just like a website. It's your address.
Yeah.
On YouTube, like you have to have an ad. You know, like Twitter.
But
if
someone wanted to find it, it's OG Dreamer.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look for it.
OG Dreamer on YouTube. I'll send you the link.
Okay. Okay, it might even be on it already. I watched your first video a while back. Okay, well, thank you. I enjoyed a little talk.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you down the road.